36, well, let me do first. Negative 24, I hat minus 36.11, J hat meters per second.
Okay.
This would be the final velocity.
I feel like this was asked before, but where did the 132.48 mi hat go again in the equation?
Oh, when we multiply?
Yes.
When you do a dot product, you multiply like components.
Yeah.
So this right here, this is my acceleration was all vertical.
Yeah.
So this really is the shorthand for, it was 0 meters per second squared I hat minus 9.8 meters per second squared J hat. That really is what we're working with here.
Okay, so it was multiplied by 0.
Yeah.
All right. It's also like 1026.
Oh, the time.
Yes.
Yes. Good take on.
Could we use the first equation to find the final speed?
You could use the first equation. All right, so if we plugged into the first equation, we can do it two different ways. The fun about this, so many different ways. Just please don't mix and match. I could use the first equation, as Margaret did, to find the final velocity here, like plugging in 18 for VI, that acceleration, and that time. Once I have that, I now have my two components. It's like converting into polar form. I have my horizontal, vertical components. I find the hypotenuse, that's my final speed. So that's probably the simplest. I can keep going if you want.
Right, but we used 30 for this one and we didn't break it down for this equation, so why would we break it down for that?
When you're plugging into these equations, you plug in all the horizontal stuff, or all the vertical stuff, or if you're going to do some horizontal and some vertical, then you do that. I know my initial speed was 30, VI, and that's this equation right here. VI and VF are speeds. My initial speed is 30 meters per second. Once I plug 30 in for here, I'm now dealing with the entire, I'm dealing with the two dimensions all at once.
Yeah, my question is if we can do the same thing for the first equation.
So if you want to do that for the first equation,
I mean, just can we?
yes. Yes, you can. You'll end up with, given the way that we have our initial velocity there, the final velocity would be in rectangular form. Anything else? Now that Moises is gone, the answer to the first question on the test. All right, at this point, this is the, Master Set 2 is due next Tuesday.
Okay.
And you should be able to access Master Set 2. Anybody tried since yesterday afternoon?
Nope.
I just had a quick question about it.
Yes.
Do you want us to print it off and work on that, or is it okay to turn in, like just a piece of paper with all our work on it?
It's okay to turn in paper with all the stuff on it.
Okay.
It
As long
is
as
nice
it's
if
the
at least one
numbers.
person is handed as a copy of the questions, but if no one does, I can deal. And if you're one of those people like I was in high school, and probably in college, use paper. Don't try to cram it all on the one side of one sheet of paper. And write tiny. I have to read your stuff. I want to apologize to all my former teachers. Math teachers, those are the ones that I crammed everything onto one page. If you need paper, I can supply some for you. Anyway, there's another question?
When do you post these details and do you post them at the end of the week?
I haven't quite gotten into the rhythm of it again in the new semester. I was gonna make sure everything was posted this morning between the last class and this class, because, this class didn't start at 9:30. And then I found out I was mistaken.
And then how do you grade the lab? Because you grade from a 4.0 scale, so like if you miss like one question, how many points would you get?
All right.
Like it depends.
Typically, analysis questions are worth 6 points each, tables are worth 10 points, and blanks, in the middle of something are worth 2 points. That's the typical grading right there.
And then you just like average it to a 4.0 scale.
Then it depends on how many people are in the class. If I have enough people in the class, I do the clumping method in terms of grades. I think there's a video where I talk about that. If there are not enough people, there's sort of a set scale, but I desperately don't want two people who have raw scores that are different by 1 point to get 2 different grades. 89, if you got 89%, someone else had 90%, most likely those are gonna be the same grade. That 1.1% difference could be just my mood when I graded it. Sometimes I have had quizzes, 20-point quizzes, where somebody got 20, 19, 18, 17, 16, 15, 14, 13. Well, at some point I'm gonna make some cuts in there because the 13 and the 20 are not the same quality. And so, it happens sometimes.
When are the quizzes gonna be?
For this is an 8-week class. Your quiz grades are, actually the master tests are your quiz grades. Yeah, I don't do in-class quizzes with the 8-week class, and I might at the end of it go, I should have done it, but Margaret says no.
Who said no?
I'm calling you, I assume you would have corrected me if I were calling you the wrong name.
Grateful for you.
I do what I can.
And then the tests are all inside the lab, right?
The tests will be on a Monday or Wednesday when we've got the full 3-hour block, whatever it is.
And you'll let us know for.
Yeah, no surprise tests.
Okay.
The only time I've done a surprise test is the first time they took the test, there was a problem with the plumbing. We were just on the other side of the wall in the bathroom, and there was a throughout the entire time except when someone flushed, and then you got a small reprieve for about 30 seconds before it started up again. They did not perform particularly well, and I thought they still should have done better, even with the high-pitched noise that was throughout the whole thing. Then we had, I think it was spring break, and when they came back, I gave them the same test again. I did not tell them I was gonna do this. I gave them the same test just to see what they would do with having just gone for a break. All but one did better.
That's
They
good.
forgot everything over spring break.
Yeah.
They apparently, it's sort of they learned over spring break. They did not forget.
Only one person didn't do
Yeah, that one.
All but one did better.
So did you keep like the new grade or did you keep the old?
I took the higher of the two.
Okay.
All right. In the lab today, we're gonna shoot stuff.
Awesome.
What are the 2 rules of lab safety?
We use
Don't shoot other people.
In general, what are the 2 rules? And
Use common sense.
yes. So, if you shoot the ball, in shooting the ball, the worst situations, somebody shot one into a box of broken glass. Someone shot one that went down the hallway and into one of those mice glue traps.
Bullseye.
What I say is, when you shoot the ball, retrieve it. If you feel like it is potentially dangerous or really disgusting, I think we can find some gloves for you. Yeah, slowly the balls are disappearing, and I really don't want to have to buy new ones. So, I think the other group is done. I suppose by having to haul stuff down here. But don't feel like you have to stay in the lab if you want more space, because other people are cramping your style.